Hi everyone, alongside Mike Trossel, I'm Dave Giancola. Thanks for joining us again for another US Open Classic finish. What if I told you you had an underdog story, a four-way fight for the finish, and oh by the way, the greatest player in the game making a Sunday charge? Well, that's exactly what we had at the 2003 US Women's Open at Pumpkin Ridge Golf Club.
Yeah, Dave, that's a recipe for some Sunday drama. And the final round began with Hillary Lunke, who had never won an LPGA event, never mind a major championship, leading by one over fellow American Angela Stanford. Also in the mix, Annika Sorenstam, amateur Ari Song, and defending champ Julie Inkster.
Well, the performance matched the anticipation on Sunday, and we'll join the action now with Lunke leading by one on the 14th tee and a new face emerging from the pack in Kelly Robbins.
Lunke a little bit of everything on this hole, which has produced a score as high as a 9 today by Sari Pak.
Need to hit a long drive here. That's not her forte, but she needs to hit one like she did on the last hole, which she crushed it for her. She's 144th in driving distance this week. That's so. That is really. Ooh, got a good lie, but I'm not sure what the heck you do from that bad angle to that hole location. You got to go right, I guess.
Moving up to the green, and we bring in Roger Maltby for Sorenstam's third.
Well, her ball has come to rest against the primary cut of rough behind her ball, which is going to make this a little more difficult. Has to pitch across a ridge. Pitching uphill should move to her right some. Just muffed it. It's because of that lie, John.
Tell me about that second shot. What was that all about?
Well, I don't know. I think the determination was she didn't feel she could hold the green on the angle she was playing and decided to play safe.
No bargain hitting it way over there, though.
Here's Robbins at 17, getting ready for her second K.
Backed off. Going to take a little extra time with this one. The wind is really picking up from behind. 142 to the front, 173 total.
Just hit it on the front middle of the green and let it funnel city in there, okay?
Looks like an 8 or a 9 iron at the most.
Tell you what, it likes to chase right down there. A lot of backspin. Tremendous spin on that ball to have it not chase any more than that.
After bogey number 8, Kelly Robbins trailed by 8. Now just 2 back. Moment ago, Ari Song for birdie at 14. Just one birdie today, turned in by Rosie Jones earlier. And Ari Song right against the stick. It's a +1.
Oh, man.
She's within 3 with 4 holes left. And now live with Sorenstam.
Yeah.
And what a clutch putt by Sorenstam to remain at even.
Well, that'll perk her up. She's not feeling well, but she's saying, hey, I'm in this thing. I needed that. Maybe there's a funnel over there on the right side. Yeah. Boy, what an important hole for
the
Lunke and
Stanford.
Stanford. Just such a key hole. This is a hole you can make a double bogey in a heartbeat. Jane, she has a ball. The ball looks like it's down green, sitting up big time, but you think she'll challenge this or go to the right, short right?
Well, I think she'd be smart to go just out to the right, just short of that bunker. It is a good lie. It's a perfect lie, and sometimes that's a bit too much of a temptation.
You think that opening, it's about 18 feet wide, is just too small for her to chase it in there, huh?
Well, it's such a risk at this point in the tournament.
Husband Tyler said, hey, probably let's use your head and just get it down there for a 90-yard shot or something.
Yeah, she's just laying up. It's a smart move, I believe.
That takes a lot of willpower, I tell you that. And that's on a downslope, though, so she didn't really hit it in a spot that she should have. That's a little unlucky.
Over to 17, Kelly Robbins for birdie K.
Yes, she would have liked to have been a little closer, but all in all, this is a good position below the hole. It's almost like a little valley running up to the hole.
Just a little break to the left, I think.
Yes.
Starts at left. Not going to break right. So not a good putt.
Robbins is going to remain at even. 2 behind. But Lunky is facing a difficult challenge at 14 as Stanford is next to play her second there.
And this from 119 yards. Downhill, downwind.
Long drive, huh?
And she ripped that one, Johnny.
Did she wipe it?
No, she started it right. It looks pretty good. Oh, a little too long.
She had a good opportunity to take advantage of this hole with that big drive. But
Big second shot for Inkster at 18.
she hit a huge drive, just a huge drive, going with looks like a 2-iron, maybe 3. And she's hit a beauty, but watch this collection area.
Oh, maybe it'll snap. It's not going to skirt by that.
No, it's just like a funnel down there, right down to that drain. And she'll get a free drop from there if she'd like it. I'm sure she will.
Not been one eagle at 18 this week.
Well, Dan, remember back in 1997, Julie Inkster had it down in that low collection area, and it took her 3 attempts to get it up onto the green. So I'm sure she has some memories of that location.
Isn't that the way it always is? When you have a disaster, it comes back to say, try it again.
Over at 15.
Ari Song on the tee here at the par 3.
Well, she better hit a high note here if she wants to stop it.
We had a scoring error here at 18, Gary. That birdie by Song at 14 got it a +2 within 4.
This ball turning right to left, going at the very left side of the green.
And it will just chase through the green, Roger, and into the rough. Back to 14.
A big shot for the leader, Lunky, her third.
Is this on a downslope, Gene?
Yes, it is. It's on a little bit of a downslope. She has 48 yards all the way to the flag, only 42 to that front on the left.
Oh, man, this is like the hardest shot in the world. Downslope, got to hit it soft. That yardage, you know, watch out. It's Chili Dip City. Sounded good.
Sit.
Yeah, it's going in a little bit low. Got a little bit of spin on it, though. Not too bad.
I'll tell you what, all in all, that's a heck of a shot. That's a terrible yardage on a downslope to a green going away from you.
I got an uncomfortable feeling just having you talk about it there.
Over at 15, Sorenstam.
It's a 7-iron, Gary.
Better
Big
get all of
7-iron,
that,
you
yeah.
bet.
165-yard carry over the bunker.
Yeah, that is a long 7-iron.
She's hit it very high, shaping it right to left if it'll get up.
Oh, it hits between the bunkers. Oh, what a man. The best shot we've seen all day at 15. So the putt, the long putt at 14, the crucial tee shot at 15. Sorenstam will have a putt for birdie when we come back.
Earlier at 14, Angela Stanford's third. Got underneath it.
Yeah, that rough there is very sticky.
Tee at 18, Kelly Robbins within 2. And remember, Lunky's got a long par putt at 14.
Taking an aggressive line, aiming left here. And boy, that's a chaser. That is perfect. That's going to be down there where she can hit probably a long iron into the screen. It's amazing, these the women this week, some of the drives. Michelle Wee averaging 289 reminds me of the song by Faith Hill, It Matters to Me. She sings, don't really understand the distance between a woman and a man, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of truth to that right now.
There's that par putt.
And this is about 20-25 feet downhill. Crucial at this point. Had the line, but oh gosh, not the speed.
Back-to-back bogeys for Lunky. She's back to 1 under and back to 15.
Ari Song playing out of the back fringe.
Well, electing to use a putter as opposed to chipping it.
Very quick down this hill, isn't it, Roger?
Oh, yes, it is. Very fast.
long putt from the back of the green yesterday here for a 2. Not today. We move up to 18.
The defending champ, Julie Inkster. Had a 69 in the opening round, 71-74, so she began this final round 6 shots back. And as you look at that leaderboard, may need a chip in for Eagle to perhaps have a chance, but you never know with the way the golfers on the golf course have been backing up. This is a par attempt for Stanford.
And she was on the exact same line that Hillary Lunke was, so hopefully she would have learned exactly the speed and the line here. I was very upset about that chip shot, and I slammed her club in the bag and just really took some time to compose herself.
She probably had thoughts of chipping the ball in the hole, and then when you go from chipping it into chunking it, that's not a good combination.
Upper left, Annika at 15 for birdie.
And this is probably to get a share of the lead.
Yep, at 1 under if it goes in.
Yep.
There it is, first birdie of the day for Sorenstam, and a missed par attempt by Stanford.
Well, she had to bounce it between the bunkers to get that birdie for her first one of the day. But
So Annika Sorenstam has caught the leader, finally. And she's got 3 holes to play.
amazing.
First smiles we've
Look
seen,
at her.
deep breath. Boy, I've had to work hard for this. And there is the bogey tap in for Stanford. So Stanford and Lunke both bogey it. Stanford is out of red numbers at even par. And Sorenstam has joined Lunke atop the leaderboard at 1 under.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
What a day at Pumpkin Ridge. 6 players began under par. 2 are left, and they're tied for the lead. Sorenstam, the future Hall of Famer, with 45 wins. Lunke looking for her very first win of any kind. Tied at 1 under as we go to 18. Inkster not out of it as she's up on the green looking over this 3rd shot. It was back in that 3rd round, which Gary mentioned in the first championship held here back in '97 when Julie took 3 shots to get it up there. She double bogeyed the hole and went on to a tie for 14th.
Well, they're just posting the new scores. Annika's birdie and, of course, Lunke and Stanford's bogeys. And seeing that, there it is right there, that leaderboard has totally changed. Lunke has played 5 over the last 12 holes and is just
trying to hang on.
Yeah, just having a tough time. But she's still in the lead, tied for the lead. Got to drive it up that hill. You don't want to come up short. Big long stroke.
Again.
You got to be kidding me. And she just have to face the demons again. Look at this. She just cannot believe that she's got to try this again. That she might play it from there. It's a nice little upslope. Well, she's going to take relief, but there sure isn't any reason to.
Tee at 16, and now the co-leader.
407-yard par 4, almost a dead straightaway hole, and playing under par today for the first time all week with an easy hole location, front right.
I think adrenaline has kicked in. You know that, Gary, as far as how she was feeling and everything?
Well, you could just see it in her body movement, couldn't you, after she made the putt at 14.
Yeah, and then she's running to see where the shot went on, what, 15?
Roger just into the intermediate cut of rough, but a good angle. As we go to 15, Angela Stanford.
And that's with a 5-iron, Gary. Starting at the middle of the green, just turning into the...
Can she get it to land softly enough? No.
Is that really a tough shot to stop?
That is not an easy up and down.
Because that's pretty far through the green.
Yes. Up to 18.
And now the 4th shot for Inkster from the same spot.
Yeah,
She made sure she got that one out.
Yeah, pretty predictable there. You got to hit it a lot harder than you think.
Back over to the 15th.
Lunke ready with her tee shot.
It's getting dangerous now, Gary. The wheels have been shaking and wobbling, and she's lost her lead. Annika now tied for the lead, and She needs to not bogey this hole and actually get one behind.
And Johnny, this is with her 11 wood.
I think she's just going to go right.
No, it's going left of the flag.
Well, it will also chase through into the back rough.
Good shot, isn't it, Gary?
That was a well-played shot. Kelly Robbins waiting in the fairway at 18 for her second shot to the par 5. She's at even par. Annika Sorenstam, Hillary Lunke, both at 1 under. And this was Annika's reaction to her birdie at the 15th. Finally, we get a birdie. Yeah, we're right there.
Julie Inkster for the disappointing bogey at the par 5 18th after being greenside in 2, but the collection area gets to her again, but the popular Inkster finishing off this championship with a 73-15.
Second shot for Stanford, very quick down the hill. 16, Sorenstam second on the way.
From 141 yards out, this looks good.
Oh, man. I think she has got it in her sights now. They said the whole location here at 16 today, very accessible. Look at this on the first hop and the dribble. Looks like it might just go in. Well, it was a slow start. A couple bogeys on the front 9. Not much happening. And all of a sudden, the crucial par putt at 14 just seemed to re-energize her. Great break at 15. Tee shot lands in the high rough. Ends up close to the hole. Now we moved 18.
And the wait is finally over for Kelly Robbins, Kay.
Well, it was at least a 5-minute wait, and it seemed probably to her about 15 minutes. 229 front yardage, 244 total.
One shot back. Got to hit the ball right in this area here, otherwise forget about it.
Has a good flat lie. Came off solidly.
Here it comes.
What a shot.
Kelly Robbins is on the surface in 2 at 18.
What a sweet shot through that tiny little opening.
Again, not one eagle all week at the 18th. Back to 15.
Hillary Lunke using the putter out of the intermediate cut of rough. Very quick down the hill. It's a nervous length. Well, hold. Confident stroke there. Just banged it right in the back of the hole.
Very well hauled.
So she remains at even par.
And Gary, that was a really good up and down after chunking a couple of chips earlier in the round. A crucial time to do that. And now Hillary Lunke with about 3.5 feet. Pretty straight in putt. Really not going to do a whole lot, I believe.
It's getting the time when it's sort of white knuckle city, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't really want to be leaving yourself 3-footers. But if you're going to, this is in a good position.
Still ranked second in the field in putting for the week. Has hit just 4 greens in regulation today.
He still looks very composed and very calm, though, Gary.
Oh, nicely done. She remains tied with Sorenstam. And they'll take the short walk over to the 16th tee. We'll move to 18.
Kelly Robbins taking the walk up, reaching this par 5 and 2. Kind of under the radar all week at this championship. Shot the 74 in the opening round, was tied for 45th, and then a 69 on Friday, tied for 15th, tied for 8th after 3 rounds. So moving up, 16.
Ari Song, birdie putt. Roger, have you had a chance to look at this little putt of Sorenstam's?
I have. It's a downhill slice putt. It will move to her right. And it'll have, directly be related to how fast she hits it. What kind of speed she hits it. I think it'll turn quite a little bit if she hits it softly. And I think she has to get it off the hole with some speed. And, not a hard putt, really.
It's kind of putt you make, what, 6 out of 10?
Yeah, I would say. Maybe more, John. If you're putting well.
For the U.S. Women's Open. Makes it a little tougher, but I think she's got a lot of good positive feelings going on right now.
All those experiences at Colonial for moments just like this.
Let's see if she can do it.
No.
Those putts we're talking about, Gary, always high.
Yeah. That was well off the hole. As soon as she hit it, opportunity missed there. Back on the tee, Angela Stanford.
The wind's just started to pick up into her face, Gary.
Right there.
Headed to the left. Needs a good bounce.
Well, it will just trickle into the intermediate cut of rough, but a great angle to this front right hole location.
What do you think, Gary? It's an interesting time right now for this duo.
Well, it is. I know it certainly doesn't make it any easier to know that Annika Sorenstam has now gotten to 1 under par. You certainly don't expect her to make a mistake.
Pretty hard to believe.
Experience.
Pretty hard to believe Annika didn't even come within an inch of the left edge there.
So lucky scorecard. Long birdie putt at the first, and then 4 bogeys. Tap in birdie at 11. 2 more bogeys since then.
Good looking swing there, right down the middle.
Will be nicely placed. Up to 18.
Kelly Robbins is either going to move it to 2 under or 1 under, depending if she can get this down 2 or 1. That's her hope. Get that, post that number, 1 or 2 under.
Not a hard putt, Kay. It's just, what, right edge or something?
Yeah, it's just a little gentle move from right to left. Relatively flat.
Look at her fingers shaking.
She has been walking very slowly, trying to keep her pace.
Look at that. There's some nervous tension there. It's a good putt here. I'll take my hat off to her. She started it pretty good, just about where I think it should be hit. It broke more than it looked.
Should be a birdie. And Kelly Robbins in the midst of trying to pull off the largest comeback in the history of this championship in the final round. 6 times a player has come back from 5 shots in the final round. Robbins began the day 6 back. As we go to 17 and Annika Sorenstam's tee shot.
Going with that 3-wood, needs a good drive.
Well, she got it, John. That's going down the right center of the fairway.
She's got 2 birdie holes. Probably get 2 under par, win it outright, I would imagine. Otherwise, it looks like tomorrow and playoff on ESPN.
Well, there's what we're talking about with Robbins. Annika Sorenstam, a part of that group, which stands at 6 to come back from 5 shots in the final round to win it. This is for triple bogey. Natalie Gulbis playing with Kelly Robbins. Gulbis
Spending a lot of money on this
she
18th.
is. Absolutely, Kay. She was +2 before she got to 16. Bogeyed that, bogeyed 17, and having a tough time here at 18. What happened, Kay?
Hit it in the gunch off the tee, reloaded, and hit it and found the fairway. Then her shot from there hit it in the gunch again. So really slapped her way up this fairway. I mean, just a couple of awful swings. Kind of drop kicks, Johnny.
This $3.1 million purse, that's a big difference in what she'll take home tonight.
When she looks at the rundown tomorrow morning in the paper, she's going to be ill.
So that's a quadruple. Now Robbins to get it to 1 under, post that 1 under number. Again, it's been more than 4 years since her last win. Her best finish this year, a tie for 11th, 73rd on the money list. Once considered one of the top players on the tour, but putting has been a big frustration of hers in recent years. But did she ever move up the leaderboard this week? 4 under in the last 10 holes. And a 2 under round at 69 in this final round. We'll see how it works out. 16.
Lunky ready with her second.
And this is an 11 wood from 173 yards on a little bit of an upslope. Headed toward the left side of the green.
A little different clubs than Annika there, huh?
Yeah, slightly.
Annika hits what, wedge in there?
Yeah, wedge or 9-iron.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good shot, though. Hole high on the correct level of the green.
Looking pretty cool under those shades despite all the turbulence of emotions that are happening.
Stanford next, Jane?
Yes, she is 157 yards just in the intermediate cut of rough. Good angle, as Johnny said, from her drive down the left side. Should be no more than an 8-iron.
Land this ball short of the green and let it release. Left.
Yes, heading to the left side of the green. Might get a good bounce. Now might need one more club, I think.
Not that bad. It's makeable from there.
Well, if Lunky is to somehow hang on and win this championship, for someone who hasn't even won yet on the LPGA Tour, what winning this championship would mean to her, earlier we asked her.
It would be absolutely unbelievable. It would be a dream come true, literally a dream. You know, to do it on this weekend, 4th of July, and just being from the United States and representing our great country, it's the ultimate championship in women's golf, and I would be so proud to do it and so happy to do it, and hopefully things will go my way.
Well, she would be only the second different American to win this championship in the last 9 years. Inkster with a victory in '99 and '02. International players have been mostly in the spotlight at the ladies' biggest championship in the world. And now Annika Sorenstam, after a good drive at 17 with an opportunity there at the par 4, Roger.
171 yards left of the hole, playing downwind, slightly downhill. The pin's cut on the green.
Can't be
31 paces, so she's got 140 to the front, John.
Can't be playing much more than 145 or 50. Can
Exactly. I think you don't want to land it any more on the green than 5, 6, 7 paces, something like that. And it should release back to the hole.
Definitely could knock it stiff here, like the last hole. Got sideboards on the right, a little bit on the left.
This one pulled a little bit toward the left side of the green.
See if it comes off that sideboard.
It should.
There it is, like a funnel down there. Wasn't exactly textbook, but right now it looks pretty good.
It took Annika Sorenstam 69 holes to grab a share of this championship, to grab a share of the lead, and by her play right now, looks like she has no designs of letting go of it.
Back at 16. Both players similar lines. Lunky will be first to putt.
Well, they were both about exactly pin high, and Reed McKenzie from the USGA has designated that it is Hillary Lunky's putt. And going to be quite a bit of left to right break, Gary, I believe.
Jane, it has really been this club that has saved her today. 9 one-putt greens through 15 holes.
Have players been misreading this putt, or
I would say, John,
overreading?
Overreading, yes.
That's
the
what I think.
tendency is to play it higher than and more to the left than the ball actually moves.
Yeah, Annika misread it by what, 2 inches anyway.
Yeah. Saw Natalie Gulbis putting from this side of the hole. She had the problem as well, overreading it.
And from down here, it really does look like it's going to break quite a bit. But you guys have been watching it up there all day.
Just to take the outright lead. Good effort.
That's what we were talking about, Gary.
Yeah, it just won't move quite as much as it looks.
I think she hit a perfect putt.
I think she probably hit it right where she wanted. The speed was obviously very good. Nice par. She'll remain at 1 under. Tied with Sorenstam and Robbins. And if Angela Stanford were to knock this in, we'd have a 4-way tie. And Jane, close enough on the line of Lunky's to learn a little something, maybe?
I think so. It was at least within a yard. She's a little bit more toward the front of the green, in which case I think her putt's going to probably break a little bit less than what Lunky's did.
A little slow, Gary.
Yeah, it's a little bit back up the hill, especially at the end. Good effort.
They all seem pretty calm, Gary. I know I would be. My nerves would be singing La Cucaracha right now.
Yeah, you got to hand it to them. They do seem to be handling the situation quite well.
Well, they both look pretty calm. Angela has a little bit more of a fiery personality than Hillary Lunky. Has looked a little bit disgusted a couple of times, but seems to have been able to compose herself and refocus on the next shot.
She remains even par, 1 shot back.
So the drama builds here, huh, Gary?
Well, it does indeed. As Johnny has said, 17 and 18 certainly birdie holes if you can hit a good shot and make a putt.
3-way tie for the lead, and while we have a moment, we send you back down to Kelly Tillman.
Thanks very much, Dan. I am with Kelly Robbins. Incredible round, one of only 3 subpar rounds on the day. Don't know if you knew that. That is a statement as to how good it was. How good do you feel right now about it?
Well, Kelly, obviously I'm thrilled. I haven't been able to score that much as of late. Not that I'm scoring any better now, but on a course like this, it was survival. It always is. So, fortunately, I did okay today. I just hung in there, made a lot of pars, stayed incredibly patient, hit it close a little bit on the backside, and made a few birdies.
Very composed coming down the stretch. We had a very tight shot of your hands over the putt on 18 for Eagle. Looked like you were shaking just a little bit. Is there some truth in that?
Yes. You know, I was set, but then I didn't know. I didn't want to get too carried away and have, you know, something like a 4 or 5 footer, you know, coming back for birdie, but I wanted to get it there, and because that could be to win, you know, and that's why we play. So, no, they were shaking a little bit. I've kind of went into a new putting routine this week, and I guess it's paid off. I don't know, but yes, it's safe to say that I was feeling it. It was great to feel again.
You could win this championship. Stay patient. We'll go back out on the golf course to 17 and watch what happens.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kelly. And Kelly Robbins, 140th ranked putter this year on tour. I mean, you can see why she was a little bit antsy there with that eagle attempt at 18. Now Sorenstam for birdie in the outright lead for the very first time.
Just about 15 feet. Might try to move a little bit to the right.
Dead straight putt if she just hit it inside the hole, but
back on the tee is Lunky.
might be going left a little.
It's starting down the left side, but I think it should stay in the fairway.
Yep. Good drive there.
And you can see the other ball there. Stanford at 17. Three-way tie for the lead. Back to this 58th United States Women's Open Championship as we continue on this championship Sunday from Pumpkin Ridge. Too close to call at this point. We got one in the clubhouse. Kelly Robbins tied for the lead with Annika Sorenstam and Hillary Lunky, and Sorenstam getting ready to play this par 5 18th, and as you can see has not picked up a birdie all week so far.
Well, the bottom line is she birdies this hole, she got a better than a 50-50 chance to win this outright without a playoff, so she got the distance to do it. Needs to hit a hot goer off that right bunker.
That's what she's done, Johnny, turning it over right to left down the center of the fairway.
Well, she's got half of it done, and that's chasing out there big time. And, you know, you just really can't really see Hillary Lunky birdieing one of the last two with her track record, but you never know. She might birdie them both.
Well, there is Lunky out at the 17th.
And she has 183 yards to this back right hole location.
The beauty is if she can just hit it onto that front part of the green, it's total funnel down there.
Exactly.
Jane.
She has her trusty 11 wood out again, Johnny. Comes in nice and high and soft, so it should be perfect. Let's see how good her nerves are.
It's a narrow green, but it plays much wider because you got these sideboards here and sideboards over there.
Kick right.
Pulled left a little bit.
Sit down.
Well, not her best effort over clubbed. Downhill a little bit, downwind, and
Yeah, the wind just picked up
Yeah.
really just before she hit, and I think it might have been wise to gear back a little bit.
that was way long, though. That wouldn't have had a chance if she hit it straight.
Let's not forget about Angela Stanford, just one behind the leaders.
And she has 169 yards. Wind, as I said, has started to pick up behind the players. It should be no more than a 7-iron.
4 over par for the round, same as Lunky.
Good contact.
Nope, didn't take advantage of this easy hole location, Jane. Those are unforced type of errors when you got that kind of sideboard on both sides. Should be able to get inside 20 feet.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a challenge for Stanford and Lungy to get their pars at 17 as we go back over to Kelly Tillman.
Thanks very much for rejoining Kelly Robbins as we sit here and watch the action unfold. It's been a little over 4 years since you've won a tournament. It's been since 1995 since you've won a major championship. And here we are at a place where you've had some success. You finished third here in 1997. Did you draw from some of those memories?
Well, you know, I think anytime you play well at a golf course, it's always nice to come back. Obviously, coming back to Pumpkin Ridge, I knew that some good things happened to me here in the past. And like I said, my game has been okay. It just hasn't had any spark to it. It really, I haven't been able to build my momentum. So coming back here and then knowing to stay patient, and then I got the putter going for a couple days this week, so that really helped.
1997, a final round 66. Today, a beautiful subpar final round. Hard to come by. Let's take a look at some of your highlights. We'll start with your second shot at number 11, the par 5.
Yes, this was actually my third shot into 11, and I hit the collar there. It was a really good bounce, and I had a really good number into that and just knew I just had to get the job done.
flash forward to number 16.
This was a perfect wedge for me. I had 121 on the front, little downwind, and as you can see, another really good bounce, and I was able to make that.
I wouldn't say the bounces were going your way. You were playing the ball very well into the greens, and the second at 18, the par fives, very difficult this week.
They were very difficult. I took 3-wood off the tee and had 128 on the front, and was just trying to, that was a 5-wood actually, a little skinny, and actually was perfect. Hit it dead straight. And
Been to win, Kelly.
Yes.
Been to win, and we will chime in here for your putt on the green to finish at 1 under par for the championship.
Fortunately, Kelly, I wasn't shaking quite as much on that one as I was on the one Friday.
You know, saw you on Friday afternoon on the back of the range. You were the last one to leave. You were there with your father. Would you say your desire levels are as high now as they've ever been to win golf tournaments?
Well, I'd like to say yes. I guess Dad and I have been working really hard, and I was just at the back of the range that time of the night because I had such a late tee time, really.
Okay.
I just wanted to hit a few balls before I went home and just, you know, try to stay on top of things as much as you can. You just never know what's going to happen. Like you said, so much relies on bounces and breaks, and, you know, an open course just plays that way. So I was just trying to, you know, stay within myself and at least know my swing was good, and then once I hit the ball, I can't do anything about where the ball bounces or what anybody else does.
Bounces and breaks went your way, and you played some excellent golf. Thanks for joining us. Let's go out to 17.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly, and we'll see where the bounces and breaks go from here on out. It's going to be a challenge for pars here for this final group at 17, Jane.
Oh, indeed. Talk about breaks. This has got some serious break here, Johnny. I don't know if she can...
You can play as much as you want, right?
Yeah, you can. If the more you play it, the more it's going to break. Or the higher up you play it, I should say.
Yeah, you can't see it on TV, but there's that brow of that hill really sticks down into the green. It's actually not easy to get inside of 6 feet, I don't think.
Well, I would agree with that. If she gets it within 4 or 5 feet, I think she's done very well.
Basically, the putt's going to do this right there. Maybe even more. Yeah, that's just about what I drew. That probably won't get up high enough. It's like I said, I think about a 6-footer is the perfect distance she just hit, and that's about 5 or 6 feet. Well, it's been a magical week for her, Dan. You never know. She might just chip it right in the hole. I mean, seriously, a lot of great things have happened to her. Life-changing things. Even if she doesn't win, her life will totally change after this week.
She's earned a lot of respect for the way she's handled not only the final group today, but the final group yesterday, 2 days in a row in this championship, and tied for the lead right now.
Well, this is a very difficult lie. Grass growing back against her with a little clump behind it. This needs to move it about a yard or two.
Just kicks a little right, and just works a little right.
Carried it just a little too far. Not a bad effort, though.
She needed another magical moment from another Stanford golfer back here in '96 when Tiger Woods
same green
buried that long birdie putt on this hole to tie Steve Scott and eventually go on to win his 3rd straight unprecedented
That's going to be
US
the
amateur.
biggest shot of her career right here. I really believe that. She hasn't won this thing, what you said, in 5 years or something, and she's
7.
7 years, sorry. Time's flown, hasn't it?
Up at the green, Vardy Mackay for par. And Mackay finishes at +2, +4. Round of 75 today for the 28-year-old Scott, who led this championship the first 2 rounds. Had sizable leads of 3 and 4 shots through the first 2 days. But a 75 yesterday and a 75 today. Still a good performance. Boy, I'm still waiting on the next shot. She's got 2:36 left for her upcoming 2nd. And now Lunky for the par.
And talk about the biggest shot of her career. This could be it as well.
Well, I'll say.
Yeah, with Sorenstam in her position, Johnny at 18. You'd think that this is kind of got to go.
Well, it's about as easy a putt as you could have, technically speaking. I've had players come up to me and say, "What do you mean it was easy?" And I said, "Well, it was an easy putt. It's just the moment makes it hard." Was it right edge?
side. And the Lunkies will head to the 18th, still at 1 under. From disposition for Hillary Lunky. She has made a total of 6 bogeys on this golf course today. Really could have started going the wrong way big time.
And you talk about a gutsy round. 17 holes played, 5 greens in regulation. She should be shooting 80, easily 80.
Instead of
long
+4
rough
golf.
I mean, she's looking at 75, and she's shaved 5 shots off of what she should shoot.
Stanford to remain now at 1 back. Those are a couple of gutsy pars. Stanford 1 back. Lunky tied with Robbins in the clubhouse and Annika Sorenstam, who's in good position, awaiting her second shot at 18.
I mean, Annika is right in the driver's seat after that huge drive. Song will be first to play. Raj?
250 yards to the hole, John. Uphill into the wind.
Just a little breeze. What is it, about 5 miles an hour?
Maybe just a shade more than that, but not much. It's not a big wind.
Got a little ribbon of landing area, and I mean a ribbon. It's otherwise stuff on the right kicks sort of right or straight, and stuff on the left definitely goes left. So you're hitting to just a runway, so to speak, crowned runway.
Song has played well on this back 9.
See the flag stick right there.
Good ball, Rory. Good ball.
Caddy likes it.
This is it solid, John, if it'll get a hop.
It's getting up there.
How about this shot? Caddy Don Hall is cheering for it the whole way, saying, I like this light bag, and I like that shot.
There's the caddy, Don Hall, who already says has played this golf course about 1,500 times.
Yeah. Wow.
Retired high school teacher. What a caddy she got. Okay, here we go. Sorenstam.
236. Looking right at it, Roger. This is right in her wheelhouse.
This ball going right.
Holy mackerel. I cannot believe she actually hit that tree in front of her. And she is short-sighted herself, and that ball might be way right by the scoreboard, which she'll get line of sight relief from if she's there. But she has hit a skanker with a bunker in front of her and the green going away.
Watch her face here after contact.
She was like grimacing like he had something wrong with her, but what a bad shot for her, knowing how good she really is.
Okay, so Stanford back on the tee, 1 behind Sorenstam.
And normally hits a right to left ball flight. The wind is coming up a little bit from her left. It's started at the right bunker. Oh, that's perfect.
So much can happen on this 18. We've seen so many players with good drives, but then that second shot, when you go for it.
Well, Gutsy Lunky does not have the distance for this hole. It's she's going to have to do it if she gets to -2, which she'll probably win this thing. She's going to have to do it with a good drive, another fairway wood to 80 yards or so, and then on the green and make maybe a 5-footer and win this thing. Unless Annika gets it up and in. But there's tons of trouble left. Feskew's over there, 3 feet high, bunkers right. Nerves everywhere.
They're fading a little bit towards the right-hand bunkers.
Well, it's a beauty of not much length. That's fine.
We mentioned at the top of this telecast that 6 years ago when Hillary Lunky played here for the first time, in an Open at age 18, went driver sand wedge and dealt with that sensitive area there at 18. Trying to win it now. A look down that par 5 18th. The only hole left for the final two groups. And there is the story. Robbins in at 1 under. Trying to pull off the largest comeback in the history of this championship. Annika Sorenstam has just played her second to the par 5 well right. And for a report on that, we go down to Roger Maltby.
Well, Annika's ball has come to rest underneath a fence, which is involved with a temporary immovable obstruction portalets that are to the right here. She got a terrible kick off the trees. What they're trying to do now is clear the crowd. She's also behind the scoreboard. It is between her and the hole, so they're going to try to determine at what point she'll have a free line of sight relief from that scoreboard, I'm sure. But no matter where they move it, it's not going to be good.
Let's bring in David Fay for more on this situation.
Well, Raj, you're right. It won't be good, but we do have a clarification on our notice to competitors that even if technically her nearest point of relief from the monster board is to the right of it, she's entitled to drop to the left of the board because, as you see there are a number of trees to the right of the monster board. And if that board weren't there, the reason we do this, if that board weren't there, you'd have a relatively free shot. And obviously, if the portalets weren't there.
She's smiling like things are good, Raj. But, you know, it's a very bad break. Usually when you hit fir trees, I'd say 7 out of 10 will actually hit the trees and come back towards the fairway. Then there's 2 out of 10 that'll hit the trees and just drop down underneath them. And there's 1 out of 10 that'll actually kick right. And that's the one she got.
Kendra Graham.
That's the key. Okay. Well, this tree is in the way to the flag, so that means I have an alternative plan, right? If this wasn't here and that wasn't there.
Right, but as far as this rule is concerned, you need to be able to play stroke towards the flagstick. Or where you finish on a line.
No, I mean, if these bleachers were not here,
no,
then I can play.
Right, but what we have to determine as far as interference from other things.
Yeah, we're talking the bleachers, we're talking the
Hit it
scoreboard.
right inside these trees right here.
Right.
We can hit it right at the flag.
Okay, and that's what we need to determine.
We can
whether
hit it
you
right
would
at the
play,
flag.
whether you're.
It's so hard to determine when I have all this thing. I have 2 options. I can play to the right or I can play right here. Okay, I go right here.
Okay, so that's
with this camera lady.
So let's just, you could play right along the edge of the tree and end up. Joe, are you standing on line with the flag stick?
The flag is right on line where I am right now.
Yeah, for a nice
Here,
little
I'll
putt.
go stand.
A nice little putt.
Yeah. That's just what we have to determine, and then we'll give you.
Okay.
Can you get in a line? Yeah. Okay. Scoot back.
We're going to have to go back, guys.
And you said you could play a little cut shot.
Yeah. And a bump and run towards my caddy.
Okay. All right. So.
Well, David, after that chit-chat between Annika and Kendra, what have you gathered?
Well, this gets rather technical, but what Kendra is asking is it realistic to get the ball to the hole? And I think in this case you're going to see that it is, because she's already announced she can play a little cut shot. She's going to get relief from the portalets, and then she would drop the ball, and then there may be another issue, and that would be the monster board, and it might be a 2-step process.
So, you want me to mark the ball then?
Right.
Kelly Robbins watching Annika's
Yeah. So what you're going to do, you're going to
rules predicament. Lunky waiting out
you
there.
can't go closer to the hole. So you're going to swing out to the left. Okay.
Well, the bottom line is I'm sure Kelly Robbins is listening, and she dodged a major bullet with that really bad shot by Annika. Annika, after that great drive, hitting it to where she did is just a 1 in 10 miss there.
You know, it's worth noting here, Johnny, that Annika attended a 3-day USGA PGA rules workshop back in January of '97. She's the only touring pro known to do so. Registered herself, paid the $225 fee, and afterwards said, you know, I thought I knew a lot, but I felt like a beginner in that workshop. So you can hear her working Kendra Graham pretty hard on the rules interpretation here. So Annika knows a little bit about them as well.
It's a two-part drop, right? She has to get the first drop. It's just from the fence, right? And then you get the drop for the line of relief.
See,
right?
here's the deal. First of all, you don't jump ahead. She's entitled to relief because her ball's right up against the portalets. She should drop from there. For all you know, for all we know, she might say, I like this ball, this position. Obviously, she probably won't, but that ball, once that ball is in play, then she'll deal with the monster board.
Yes.
And as I said earlier, she's entitled to drop to the left of the board, even if her nearest point of relief is to the right.
And if she drops it and it's right behind a tree and can't go towards the board because the tree's in her way, then she gets no more relief, right?
Well, that's true. That's why she has to be very careful on how she drops. You know, you very careful.
So that's the key thing right now.
That's why Kendra is really walking her through this process.
We're going to measure club length. You drop it in. I got to see what the second is. We're going to keep the corner of the board.
It's going to really freeze the final group, though, on their second shots, Lunky and Stanford, and that's tough for them. They're going to have to wait a long time.
And I think Hillary's going to grab a little shade here.
Yeah.
There's a little shade inside.
Yeah, now we go.
Reminds me a little of Jenny Shishiraporn when she got iced out, really, you know, by Sari Pak with all her problems on that last hole. I really believe if Sari Pak would have played quickly in that open, that Jenny would have won that. She had to wait and wait and wait.
Stanford has 262 to the green.
Yeah, it might be a layup from that distance, but you never know. She's got to go for it, I would think. She's got to hit the shot of her life.
So Lunky says, I'm going to stand out here in the fairway. I might as well stand out in the shade.
I don't know where you are, Roger, but even if she gets relief over to the right in this area here, she's really got hardly anything. I don't know if she can keep it under the limbs if they are in the way and still hold this green, which is rock hard.
Well, actually, John, she's going to be moving the ball to the left, and she's going to have a clearing from the trees. And really, I don't think it's going to be an issue as far as keeping the ball down.
Okay.
It's going to be a tight lie, but from where all the people have tread, and of course the shade here, there's not much grass over in this area. She'll be pitching up the green, but it certainly brings anything played at the hole or left of the hole, brings that collection area into play.
What a tough shot off that bare ground to try to hit it high.
There's a drop area in front of the board. If the bleachers get in our way, there's a drop area there.
That drop area actually is not for the monster board. That drop area was put in there if your ball went into the grandstands behind the green or to the right of the green.
Right here. This line right here.
It's got to be particularly unnerving to the players out in the fairway, Johnny. That final group, just wait. You get to this point, and then all of a sudden the brakes screech you to a halt. Trying to, keep the positive thoughts going and think about the shot, but maybe one of those instances you don't have to think about it for this long.
Really, really difficult right now.
Kelly Robbins, how you doing in there?
I think Kelly Robbins is in the driver's seat. She's just waiting to see if she's going to play tomorrow. She's not going to play any more golf today. And it will be an 18-hole playoff tomorrow, so they're not going to go into sudden death or tee it up any more shots. So Kelly's played all her golf for Sunday here, and she should just be sort of saying, hey, everything is serendipitous at this point.
That becomes an option to mention that.
It's hard to believe that a ruling can take 10 or 15 minutes, so got to be a way to speed that up.
Well, if you've just joined us, Annika Sorenstam is +1 on her round today. Gave this par 5 18th a go in 2. Hit it well right, and has been in a decision-making process here about how to play her third and get relief.
Obviously interference with Porta-Johns, but your nearest point of relief with Porta-Johns is going to be out this way. So I think and then the monster board is still in the way, right? So let's just deal with the monster board and get you out here. Here's your one club length alleyway, and then you get one club length, closer to the ball where you drop in here.
Okay, I have a question. This point here. Okay, and then we get our club length, 2, right?
She gets one club length alley,
right,
and then drops within a second club length.
Okay, so that's 2.
Right.
So if we want to play a shot to the right of this hole, which we have to because where the pin is, that board will still be in the way right here. Well, even if we get 2 club lengths this way.
We work
so we
on
need
straight lines. We work on straight lines. Okay, so
what about the way the course is playing?
Well, as far as relief under this rule, you're working in straight lines.
Okay, so, how about this? Once we drop, we tell you what our shot is, would the board come into play then? Because we're going to have to play to the right of this hole.
The way this green sits, I mean, if nothing was here, I play to the right of the flag. That's just automatic.
Right.
If nothing was here.
Right.
I mean, isn't that what the point is?
But as far as determining relief, as far as giving relief, it's straight lines.
Okay, so if you start with that, but my point is, if I'm there and I feel like the board is still in the way.
Okay, we take our 2.
Let's measure the 1.
Okay.
Let's mark it 2 on a plan.
Can I get the ball?
Yeah, but let's just mark it, okay?
All right.
Is that okay?
Yes.
So now I have a club length from here.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Move back about 6 feet, please, at least. Move back more. Keep going. Move back, please. A little more. Get cozy.
15 minutes in this process so far, and we're still not there.
Back. Give her room.
Where's Kendra?
Kendra, this is no closer, right?
Second alleyway, right? Straight line.
So now you tell me I gotta drop within this club length, correct?
The ball has to strike a part of the course. Strike a part of the course within the second club line.
Okay.
Okay. We can move stuff. Or
Yep, and it's one club length. You've got it measured here, but it's one club length in any direction. Yep. Loose and patterns, no problem. Marcia Lewis.
The wait continues for the 2 qualifiers in the last group. And if they thought they'd seen it all in the week of this championship, they hadn't until they got here and put on the brakes.
They got to be in shock right now. It's like, what could take that long? Would it have been, David Fay, would it be good etiquette at this point with this difficult ruling to let them go through?
Okay, now.
That's a possibility, yeah, because this is, you're right, this is a very lengthy process, and it sort of reminds you a bit
Everybody's got it back.
like what happened at Blackwell Front.
Take your time.
Take your time.
With Jenny Shashiro playing Sarah, that was a very lengthy one.
Keep moving back, please.
If there's a question about how long it would take, if there's a question about how long it would take, it would be good etiquette to.
Well, now, you know, it's just starting because she has a brutally difficult shot. You talk about the landing area is probably, what, I mean, it's like 4 or 5 feet she has to work with if she wants to knock it close. It'd have to probably land in that rough just over the bunker or just on the edge there, I would think.
And Johnny, I can't imagine there's really any scenario for her to have a good lie there. It's so hard packed.
Yeah.
Easy for the ball to sit down into a little hole. There's not going to be any cushion of grass underneath the ball. This is right on the deck.
She pulls this off. She has hit one heck of a shot. She got to skin it right by that scoreboard because it's got a right to left break, right, Roger?
Absolutely. That was the discussion I think she was having. She wanted to get the ball further left because she was claiming her line of play was up the right side of the green. But I don't think the rule book says anything about your intended line of play. I think it's the hole is what is the operative word.
Try to hit it 50.
That's exactly right, Roger, and that's what Kendra was saying. It deals with the flag stick, and it doesn't deal with the wanting to, for example, playing it toward the front right.
She's got it very high. It's not going to get up. It's in the bunker.
Did that bury, Roger?
No, it did not bury, John. She has a very good line, a little uphill slope.
See that 59 on there signifying her unbelievable round where she did shoot 59.
Or maybe the 59 minutes we waited for the, for the ruling.
Seems quite nonplussed about the whole thing going in the bunker.
Right, yeah.
And you know, Johnny, if we were out playing ordinarily, we'd wave the next group up. It is different here in this championship because, let's face it, this week there have been a number of rulings, a number of long rulings, and we've seen a number of long waits on holes. It's just one of those unfortunate.
I'm not saying she should have, but they could have, right?
They could have.
You see the yardage for Lunky. She's got 287. It'll be a layup in there.
Jane, are you right there?
I am. She's got 287, 188 to carry the environmentally sensitive area. She's going ahead and play. And then she's going to hit a 3-wood.
And there is tons of trouble if she mishits it. The environmentally sensitive area, a bank, bunkers, trees right and left. Needs to hit a good one.
As Lunky lays up, Annika Plain up ahead. So it's going to be a tough par for Sorenstein. After a 15+ minute wait for everyone. I want to show you where Lunky's second shot ended up. Again, she had 287. And she's gone to the right.
Tell you what, Kelly Robbins got a shot at winning this thing outright. Annika could make bogey. Lunky could make bogey, yep. And that 1 under par from that record comeback could be a magical, improbable moment for Kelly Robbins. Really, nobody even thought of her name coming into this championship.
So Lunky in that bunker in 2.
Can you believe all the stuff we're seeing here at 18?
This has been a strange twist to a strange day. As you see, Stanford has laid up as well.
Good one.
So Stanford, you know, is in the best shape of anyone here right now.
Yeah, she's got 50-50 chance of getting to 1 under, and that would tie Kelly Robbins.
Yep, she needs to get that up and down. Okay, Song for eagle. So this to get to even.
Moves left. I don't think it moves that much left.
Teenager continues to impress at her 6th major championship.
And she's going to get a 5th place all by herself if she makes that.
It's going to be the best finish, Johnny, by an amateur since Jenny Shasiraporn back in that '98 championship at Black Wolf Run.
Yeah, she's going to look at that check. She would have won about $100,000 thinking, wow.
So Sorenstam has to make this to remain at 1 under and force playoff, perhaps. Remember, you've still got Stanford out there, lying 2. And Annika Sorenstam is going to fall short again at a U.S. Women's Open.
Can you believe
after a bizarre halt of play because of the ruling at 18, Kelly Robbins dodges the Sorenstam bullet. And now just a couple of golfers, the qualifiers, have a chance to stay with her.
It's hard to believe where she drove it on 18 that it would be a 6. Kelly Robbins, if you're watching, you dodged a major bullet.
So birdie for Song for a total of 285. And folks, that's the second lowest 72-hole total by an amateur in the history of this championship. Grace Parks 283 and 99 at Old Waverly, the only better effort than that by the 17-year-old. 5th place. Okay, so the final 2 left. The 3rd now, Hillary Lunky from that bunker. What kind of shot is this, Jane?
Well, she's got a perfect lie. I don't think the lip will bother her because she only has a pitching wedge. 92 yards to the front, 15 on, so 107 total all the way to the hole.
Takes tremendous concentration and just fortitude to make a clean strike on this shot. It's so easy to hit it heavily and come up 20 yards short.
And she's going to step off.
Maybe those birds chirping is an omen. That's what she needs.
Birdie will win it. Par will tie it.
Stay right. Stay right.
And Hillary Lucky has hit a good one.
I'll tell you what, I'll clap for that. That was right at the flagstick. Look at her going, woo, I could at least be in a playoff.
And 2 putts from there to get into a possible playoff with Robbins. Let's not forget about Stanford, her third upcoming.
That's true.
Stanford can get it up and down, get to 1 under. You know, hope for a Lunkey miss. She's a part of the story as well.
That was quite a shot.
It was.
Talk about a player that's won a total of $69,000 in her professional career coming up with that shot.
Oh, that was a magical shot. Angela Stanford has 59 yards to this whole location, 44 to the front.
She's thinking up and down to get to that 1 under number.
Can't believe she doesn't mark that ball. That's of course, maybe she's planning on going right of that or using it as a sort of reference point where she wants to land it. Or one hop it. A little strange. Just got to go about 2 feet right of that ball and knock it in.
So that did not go in. So that means that Hillary Lunkey is going to have a birdie putt to win the U.S. Women's Open. Lunkey had to make it through sectional and local qualifying to just get here. And it's worth noting that in the sectional she opened with an 80. But she shot a 73 in the second round to make it with 1 shot to spare. And no qualifier has ever won this championship. She's going to have a putt to win it.
Yeah. Reminds me a little of that Kenny Rogers song about there's time enough for counting when the dealing's done. She should not be worrying about the gallery right now. Get that putt in, then she can do the smiling.
Played at her first U.S. Women's Open here as a teenager on this golf course at Pumpkin Ridge. Her dad, Bill Homeyer, was her caddy. And before we get that putt, we go down to Roger Maltby quickly. Raj.
Thank you, Dan. With an obviously disappointed Annika Sorenstam, and what was a frustrating day for you. It seemed like you had so many opportunities early on that putts that went over the edge didn't go in, but then a big putt at 14, a birdie at 15, and after a good drive at 18, you got the table set. It looks like you're going to win the golf tournament, and then what you have to describe as your worst shot of the day, the 3-wood to the right. What happened there?
I don't really know. I was trying to hit a fade into the green. You know, I was shooting for birdie. I wanted to win it, and obviously I played aggressive, and the ball shot to the right, and then, well, the rest is history. So obviously I'm very disappointed this time, but I gave it all.
The ruling was kind of a sloppy thing in that there's so many people in the area and it was so hard to come up with the ruling. Was the length of time and all that it took, was that a bother to you?
No, not really. I mean, it's just, you know, we would just want to try and make the right thing, figure out where's the right place to drop, and I just took a little time with other people, but, you know, that's just part of what you get when you don't hit it straight. you know, I still had a chance. So, you know, it wasn't just that shot. You know, like you said, I had a lot of shots in the beginning, and it's just the way it turned out to be.
Well, thank you, Annika.
Thank you.
Back to 18.
All right, and Angela Stanford has to drop this and hope that Lunke misses after that for the playoff.
It's not a hard putt. Pretty darn straight.
It's in. How about that?
Well, all the way up this 18th, we've been saying don't forget about Angela Stanford. Moves it to 1 under, but it's still in the hands of Hillary Lunke.
What a putt. She'll remember that the rest of her life. A lot of people also, but she had an easy putt, downhill, straight, the kind you want.
Look at how shocked she is. Stanford plays out of Shady Oaks Country Club, Johnny, in Fort Worth, the home course of Ben Hogan, the 4-time Open champion. He would have been proud of that gutsy 4, but
this is
still Hillary's championship.
This is actually an easy putt to 2-putt, but it's a little bit of a trick putt. It breaks more left than it looks. It looks like it may be a ball outside right, but I think it's about 5 inches outside right.
Robbins 1 under inside, tied now with Stanford, and this to get Lunke to 2 under and win the most prestigious title in her sport. Again, never finished higher than a tie for 15th in 27 career appearances.
Did she hit it?
Play tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Well, you could hear Kelly Robbins say 9 o'clock, playoff time. 3-way playoff between Lunke, Stanford, and Kelly Robbins. It'll be the second 3-way playoff in Women's Open history.
Wow, what a finish in regulation. This set up the first 3-player Women's Open playoff in 16 years, and we'll go out to the 16th tee for the finish of the playoff.
It's definitely a birdie opportunity if you hit it in the fairway.
Well, this has been the fairway that the players have hit the most on the golf course. Just under 80% of the time, it's a straightaway par 4. Beautiful tee shot by Angela Stanford.
You think right now, with the momentum, that she's probably got a slight advantage?
Well, John, I think where she might have the advantage is on the 18th hole.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I think with her length, certainly potential to reach the green in 2, and we've seen Hillary Lunke struggle there at 18.
Yeah, just
because of her lack of length.
Just to clear the hazard yesterday, she was worried about that.
That hole has always been a struggle for her ever since she was 18 and competed here.
Yeah, just have to lay it up. Good one there also.
Yep, just right down the middle. Great drive.
Gary, Kelly Robbins is in big trouble right now. Huh? I mean, as far as if she gets some help, let's say one Lunke and Stanford plays 1 over from here on in, she's still going to have to play 2 under for 3.
For the 18th, though, Johnny, we saw her hit 3-wood, 5-wood on the green yesterday and had a putt for eagle. So, but I agree with you. I mean, she's got to make a birdie here at 16. Easy hole location today.
Well, either 16 or 17, I think. And then she's got a birdie 18. Right? And that might not even be enough.
A little surprised she went with 3-wood here, but she's got it in the fairway.
Once again, all 3 players in the fairway at 16. Lunke and Stanford tied. We'll be back to Pumpkin Ridge in a moment.
Well, there is There's a bit of a feeling of destiny here with Hillary Lunky as she's tied with Angela Stanford, competing in this championship back in '97 at just 18 years old. Her father on the bag. It is a chance 6 years later to indeed come full circle.
It would be an unbelievable experience to go from having just been thrilled to qualify for the Open when I was 18 and just living a dream by being here to now 6 years later be able to come back and win the championship would just be a fantastic experience.
Her dad, Bill Homar, she was Hillary Homar at that time before she married Tyler Lunky there. He said, "I'd love for you to get another chance at that golf course and see how your game compares since '97. She shot 84-75 and missed the cut by 12 shots in that Open back in '97. Here with a chance to win it all and change her golfing career and life forever." Gary?
Well, as I mentioned, the whole location today at 16, very accessible. Sitting there just left of center, just on the green some 8 paces.
And a little left of the hole, you got sideboards also, right?
Exactly. A lot of ways to get it close here today. And yesterday, Kelly Robbins hit a beautiful short iron in here about 3 feet from the hole.
Sets up better for a draw shot, though, doesn't it?
I would agree with that.
You got to knock it stiff. I mean,
Well, the wind is helping in that regard. Wind coming a little bit from the right with the resident. That's now from 156 yards. She's got an 8-er. Pretty good looking shot if the distance is good.
comes back.
Trickle back just a little bit. There's a ridge about 5 or 6 paces behind the hole. Certainly makeable.
Great shot.
And Hillary Lunky will be next to play from 153 yards. I would say she'd have to hit a hard 7 or an easy 6. Looks like she might be going with a 6.
It's nice to be 1 up with 2 to go, isn't it, Gary? You want more to birdie this.
Be right. Kick right. Kick right.
Asking forward to kick right. It's going to come up a little short.
Wind just came up just a little bit in their face as she was about to hit.
I've never seen a player come up short as much as she does, but it's a pretty good spot to be on most open courses, to be just short.
Stanford next.
And 8 iron from 138 yards. Another hole that sets up well for her.
Thin?
Sounded a little thin.
Bounce.
Needs this a chase.
She gets a very favorable bounce. Bringing it in from the right.
Well, while we have a chance, and if you're just tuning in, let's give you an example of what has happened on a very topsy-turvy playoff Monday. Kelly Robbins for par at the 3rd. She bogeyed the 1st, so she would bogey 3 of her first 4 holes to fall to +3. And then Hillary Lunky set the early pace after 3 straight pars for birdie at the 4th. And then got lucky to 1 under. She built a lead here that grew to as much as 4. A birdie at the 6th to get to 2 under. And the lead was 4 over Stanford and Robbins. Kelly Robbins for birdie at the par 5 7th after a birdie at the 6th. This is when Robbins began to creep up. She moved it to +1 and was within 2. And then at the par 5 11th, Stanford, after 3 bogeys on the front, her first birdie finally falls to Stanford, who at one point seemed out of it, moved to +2. And then Stanford's tee shot at the par 3 12th. Good chance for 2 in a row. This 123-yard par 3. Beautiful shot. Would make it 2 in a row for Stanford. And Robbins at the 13th, having her problems. Her 3rd shot at the par 4 would end up double bogeying that to fall all the way to +3. In the meantime, on the difficult par 4 14th, the most difficult hole at this championship, the 3rd for Stanford after a par 13, another unlikely birdie 3 at 14th, which gave her a tie for the lead. Lunkey and Stanford now tied as they play the 16th. Here's the third, Gary, for Lunkey.
Just short of the putting surface, looking a little left. Ball to the right, and once again, beautifully played. Chip, great touch. It's obvious that is the strength of her game.
Not phased at all, Gary, by missed greens in regulation. There have been a lot of those today for Lunkey. She's hit 6 of 16.
And I believe hit just 6 of 18 yesterday in the final round.
That is correct.
I guess it's pretty easy, Dan, to stay patient when you know your short game's that good if you're not hitting the greens.
Yep. She's remained cool behind those shades the last couple of days.
She's got to dodge a bullet right here, Gary.
Yeah, I would think, Roger Maltby, this is a pretty makeable putt.
Ooh, you got to be looking for chops here. Not that any putt is easy, certainly at this stage of the proceedings, but that's about a right edger, maybe just off a hole, a little uphill.
She likes to hit them firmly. See the darkness of the grass. She's putting more into the grain.
Stay up.
Ouch.
A little left all the way, didn't it, Johnny?
Yeah, that was like Roger said. That thing was just waiting there to be taken. Well, there's a lady who needs a charge.
Yep. I think now is the time.
Well, she had to think that maybe Lunkey or Stanford would birdie this hole, and they didn't, so she's going to pick one up now.
Right, that miss was big for Kelly Robbins. She has to take advantage of this, though. Downhill, a little tougher, but trying to get it off the hole. A little breaker to the right.
Short putt for an up and down par.
Wonder how long this looks.
Solid stroke again.
Well, maybe, Gary, she and her dad are right. They thought their first win might be the U.S. Women's Open, the kind of game that she has.
It was interesting. She was talking about she plays the same no matter what the difficulty of the golf course, that she feels like she just shoots right around par, maybe a couple under, no matter how hard the course. Stanford taps in for her par. They move to 17, still tied. Stanford and Lunkey both at even.
The 17th, that 419-yard par 4.
Well, a lot of players will hit three-way down into this area. They're hitting it this direction, of course, and you don't want to get these grove of trees left. Yeah, that is no good at all, but you don't want to be right either. The flagstick is right in this area here in the middle back, and it's right dead in the waist of the green. So if you hit it the right distance, you are not going to be more than 8 feet from the hole. If you're here, if you go to that side, it'll go in, and the other way it'll break to the right. So it's like a funnel there, right in the dead center of the funnel.
Well, there's great history on this green at 17, 96 U.S. Amateur. Tiger Woods had to have it, got it, tied it up with Steve Scott after being funded down in the morning 18. We've got another Stanford golfer and Hillary Lunkey here at this 17th. And Stanford will be the first to play, so maybe we'll see who comes through, Stanford or the Cardinal Lunkey.
3-wood here. Ball turning a little right to left, which should be good. Center of the fairway.
Starting to get a lot of quality shots, Roger. It's amazing, you know, you can tell your kids 2 holes to go. 88th hole, 89th hole, still level, had a chance to win, and darn, she birdied on me.
It's a 10th straight fairway, by the way, hit by Stanford, who has really found a groove in her swing on this back 9.
No, it's just sort of like a match play situation. You just can't make a hiccup. 2 holes, any hiccup, and you're done.
Very good swing, right down the middle.
I tell you, any shot you see down the middle and hit well now, it takes so much guts to be able to hit the ball the way you do in a practice round.
Drifted it up there close to Stanford.
Yeah, right down that little drain line or whatever it is, French drain line. But yeah, she might be a little pumped up. No mites about it, right? Look at that. He's talking
Stanford
about
at the Cardinal right there.
Get out the photo finish.
This ball turning a little right to left, but it too will pretty much find the center of the fairway.
Well, there weren't many at Pumpkin Ridge yesterday who thought that Lunkey and Stanford were going to hang around. They played in that final group, and they are head-to-head down the stretch here. The 18-hole playoff has reached the 17th. Lunkey and Stanford tied. Robbins +3. It's still tied after 18. Then it becomes sudden death beginning at the 13th hole. We'll see about that. But Lunkey and Stanford in great shape, just about right next to each other in the 17th fairway as we take a look from high above.
And you can see an iron shot within 3 feet here. With if you get the right distance, it wants to be close, Roger and Jane.
It does want to funnel to the center of the green, but Kelly Robbins has left it well back. I believe she teed off with a 5-wood here, and I don't understand why she would leave herself that much distance to the hole.
Not protecting your lead, are you?
No. 171 to the front, 191 hole. And she's got to try to chase it up on that right side of the green and let that slope bring it to the hole if she can.
See that fir tree? She's got to go just right at that flagstick is sitting right in this area here, so her ball flight is going to be close.
This is a 5-iron. She's very high, turning a little bit to the left. Good looking shot.
That was a great shot yesterday. That's right where the flagstick was yesterday. The hole was cut. But well-played shot, but she needs some miracle help right now.
It's like a Tiger Woods birdie 3.
She needs, but she needs help by Hillary and Angela to make maybe a bogey finish. A lot of help. Yeah. A lot of help. Roger?
The brown one?
One One of these ladies is going to birdie this. Watch. Jan,
yep.
What do you think?
Well, I think so. If there ever is a time for Hillary Lunky to hit a solid iron shot, this is it. 156 yards. I think if she lands it on about 145, it'll be perfect. Just feed it in from right to left.
What's the wind? Just a little bit?
Yeah, really none to speak of, Johnny, at the moment. I'd say just a comfortable 7-iron for her.
She doesn't get any par 4 or 7 irons. Her length.
Be right.
Good solid
Be
strike.
right.
That's a good sign when the husband says be right, and she puts it far down in that waist area. Well, she's applied the pressure, Roger.
She has. Now, Stanford 155 to the hole. 135.
Yes, it will.
Find out what a
Can you solve
good
one?
8-iron for her would be
Let
just
it down.
about right.
Coming close.
Can you imagine the pressure on these two players?
You can do it.
They're just not what you call guns to speak of. 24 and 25 years old. Of course, Angela's coming off a win last week, but never been in a situation like this. Either one of them.
Well, this ball turning left.
Bunker. There's that hiccup we were talking about, and
What a day for Angela Stanford. Began the day fighting her swing, looking for that rhythm and tempo. But in this sport can come and go. It was not going Angela Stanford's way, out to a +3 opening 9 of 39, wondering when the first birdie would come. And then it was a tale of two nines, because finally at the par 5 11th, she got her very first birdie to fall. And that is when this championship changed, and the whole body of this changed for Angela Stanford. A birdie at 12, and then the unlikely birdie chip in at the most difficult hole here. Got her charged up, got her even, got her tied for the lead. It has been a roller coaster championship for Stanford. And just as she's got it going again on this back 9, another little hiccup here at 17. Trouble again, as Lunky is in great shape.
I don't know what kind of a stance or lie she has over there, but that was definitely a sign of nerves winning out over a groove swing. That's about as much as you can say on Roger.
I would agree with you, John. Her ball hit the very left side of the bunker and shot to the right side. It is sitting down a little bit on an uphill slope. Not a real hard bunker shot. She's got it carried out of the bunker about 15 feet, and it should roll itself out, breaking to the left toward the hole.
Believe it or not, that lie she has, a lot of people go in the bunker saying, oh, I got a bad break, but many times that's the easiest lie to knock it close. All you have to do is just get it out, and it just runs right up to the hole. You don't have to worry about whether it spins or doesn't spin. You know it's not spinning too much. Of course, it is on the upslope, so that makes it come out softer.
Stanford has not made a bogey since that 8th hole, third of her front 9.
She's hit a very poor second and a mediocre third there, and surely given Hillary Lunky a wonderful chance to have a 1 to 2 shot swing here.
And that is big, Johnny, because remember, she's got that 18th hole, which her distance really hurts her on, that par 5 18th. So a little cushion going to 18 for Lunky is huge.
I tell you, she might be having to lay it up if she doesn't need a good tee shot.
Talking with her earlier this week, as far as that 18 goes, she said, when I was 18, I had to hit driver, sand wedge, 3-wood.
And she had to lay it up short of it.
And she barely got it over yesterday after the long wait. But that is just not a good hole for her, so chance to pick one up here.
Yeah, she didn't really even get it over. She's still in the bunker up short of that top of that hill.
Robbins for a must-make here.
A little bit to the right. It's going left right now. It's a little different angle than I can see on TV. Either that or she thought the same thing.
13th Women's Open for Kelly Robbins, and it looks like another chance at this championship is going by the wayside.
Hillary Lunke will be next to putt, and I think she would have learned quite a bit from Kelly Robbins' putt. Not on exactly the same line, Johnny, but a similar enough line that I think she's learned something.
Were you surprised, really, that Kelly's putt broke 10 inches left?
I was, actually. I expected it to break a little bit from left to right as well.
Here we go. Let's rock those shoulders. You just can't read that putt. It's like a Bermuda Triangle of greens reading there. I don't know why they're going left. Roger, do you see those putts going left like that?
Well, early on, yeah, John, you can see a slope from the left-hand side of the green as the golfers would play it. It works just about to the center of the green, so that influenced the first part of their putts, but I thought they would go back right in the area of the cup.
No, they're not doing that.
So Angela Stanford has a chance to escape here without any swing at all.
But when you see putts like that, don't you think you like got sparks flying in your head thinking, how can I read this green? It's not doing what it looks like.
Well, that's the hard part about Angela Stanford's right now.
That's what I'm
seeing those putts that didn't go right. She's got one that looks like it has to go left. Not a lot, but it has to go some to the left.
Stroking it out to the right, Roger. Looking out to the right. Just breaks like crazy the other way. How do you figure that one? That's like impossible spot where they put that flag stick.
Well, the funny thing about it, Jones, is right in the middle of the green. It looks pretty benign. But it's right in the middle of the valley between those two slopes, left and right. Just a little angle off on either side. Give you a completely different putt.
Robbins for par to remain 3 back. Again, she's got eagle potential at 18. Still with a little par putt left to have a one-shot advantage as they head to the par 5 18th. Remember, Stanford was one behind as they played the 18th yesterday, made that birdie to get into this playoff.
But at this stage in any tournament, let alone a championship, boy, you get the craziest thoughts going through your head. looks like I think Tyler, her husband, on the last hole yesterday, she has a chance to win the Women's Open. He says, well, make sure you don't knock it 3 feet by. Now that, I don't know if that's true, but I mean, that's the last thing you want to think about. You got to be saying, hey, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to get this to the hole and take my chances.
Well, when we talked to her last night, she said she did have that thought. I didn't want to leave myself a big one coming back, but with a putt to win it all.
Yeah, you don't want to ever give up a chance to win, so you can't be thinking about, I hope a 2-putt.
Biggest surprise champions in the history of this championship. A one-shot lead she'll take to the par 5 18th.
A little bit like Roberto Duran beating Muhammad Ali in their prime. I mean, she doesn't hit it very far. She just don't. She doesn't look real polished like Roberto was, but you got to give her so much credit for what she's doing. It's just fantastic. Well, you can see
anything can happen here.
You can see the gallery all down this cart path here. And, of course, we're just right there in the back of the tee. But the players are going to be driving the ball from here, right in this area here, across all of that native area of wetlands and fescues and bushes. And you got it visually. It's so intimidating. All this stuff here, if you're already nervous, you're thinking a million bad thoughts that don't duck hook it into the junk. You can't even go in there. It's got a blue and red stake, automatic penalty. But a good drive is right here for Lunky, and a good drive for the other two gals, of course, are going to be down in here. They can go for the green, but Lunky's big problem is this second part. She just barely made it into this bunker right there yesterday and hit a fabulous shot up onto the green. So there are a million things you can do wrong with this hole. If you hit the right bunkers off the tee, you're going to have to lay it up right in this area here and then trying to go onto the green through those pine firs. So she's on the tee. Let's see what she's got inside her. Probably the most nervous tee shot of her life right here. More nervous than yesterday.
Hard every day, but she has scrambled for a couple of those.
Native area there in those two bunkers to lay it up for that wedge. She's a cool customer. Look at that look. Oh, I got that one down the middle.
Well, Robbins with a 3-wood here. She had 3-wood and 5-wood on the screen yesterday. I'm still surprised the driver didn't come out of the bag.
She does not like that driver. Just turn right to left, going down that left side. That was smoke.
Robbins is thinking eagle here and thinking needs some help as well, right up there with Lunky.
Well, Lunky is, I think, just picked up about 20 yards with the
adrenaline.
The old adrenaline. All of a sudden, she's hitting it right out there. You know, she was hitting 229. Like only 4 people in the whole field this week were hitting it shorter than her. And that's why I was making the reference to Roberto Duran, Muhammad Ali. It's like a middleweight going against a heavyweight. But she's hitting it out there now.
Stanford trails by 1.
Across the line a little on the top.
This ball starts down the right, but turning some, this should be okay.
Okay, it's that little brown spot there and goes chucking left.
Pressure handled well by all 3 in this playoff. The par 5 18th, one shot separating Lunky and Stanford.
Wow, what a daunting shot coming up. I'm sure there's a lot of wonderful thoughts that go creep into your head. Don't hit it fat, don't duck hook it, don't do the Hanukkah Blockaruski.
Well, Roger, who plays first here?
Well, I think it's going to be very close between Angela Stanford and Lunky. And I think Angela Stanford will be first to play. 262 yards to the hole, cut just 8 paces in the green on the right-hand side. What wind there is against the players here, I don't believe it can be reached. This shot going a little left side of the fairway. Dust into the rough. Good angle to play from anyway.
Not the greatest lie into the green. So the flag stick is on the front of the green, front right, so that helps her a lot.
Now John, Hillary Lunky has 259 yards all the way to the hole, 172 yards to clear the environmentally sensitive area, taken out of 3-wood.
That away.
Good solid contact there.
Great shot, Hill.
Safely over. That is in perfect position for her right there. And I guarantee there's a sigh of relief getting over all that tough stuff she had to deal with. Look at that smile. That's a great team right there.
Kelly Robbins, Roger.
256. Again, I don't believe it can be reached.
Hot hook, Raj.
There's a hot hook. That was nailed.
She got back there two again, and correction only to the left.
That sprinkler diving drain area. A little unlucky because that was crushed.
Hillary Lunky playing the 90th hole of this championship with a one-shot lead. And earlier we asked her what winning this championship would mean to her.
It would be absolutely unbelievable. It would be a dream come true, literally a dream. You know, to do it on this weekend, 4th of July, and just being from the United States and representing our great country, it's the ultimate championship in women's golf, and I would be so proud to do it and so happy to do it, and hopefully things will go my way.
Caddied for her dad as a youngster. Didn't think she wanted to play much, but the more she caddied, and then finally played at the age of 13, broke 100 in a month, broke 90 in a few months, and just started accelerating the game so much that she started playing seriously. Her dad has been a huge reason why she is in this position here this week.
Got to be the most impressively educated golfer in history to win the U.S. Open. I mean, seriously.
Doing it with a short game, out-hit all week long by most every competitor in this championship, but on the edge of becoming one of the more unlikely winners in the history of this championship. And her husband, Tyler, has been with her every step of the way. Close to perhaps a life-changing experience.
Just a follow-up of the education part has her master's degree in sociology, like we said earlier in the cover class from Stanford, which you don't see too often. Dr. Kerry Milikoff was my hero growing up, and not sure where he went. He might have gone to Memphis State or something. But,
all right, some work left, indeed.
Well, she only has 50 yards here all the way to the hole, 42 yards to the front of the green. The green kind of slopes away there in the front initially, so she can just land this a yard or two on. That would be perfect.
Former Hillary Holmeyer,
just inside him.
Almost home here.
All right. You got it.
just needs to clip that grass and make a good solid strike.
Get up. One hop.
There's Bill Holmeyer and Penny Holmeyer, Hillary's mother. Breckenridge. Stanford just has to make a birdie now with Lunky up there at 3.
Very, very impressive by Hillary Lunky. Perfect drive, perfect second, perfect third. I mean, as far as what she was trying to accomplish. This lie, Angela's just so-so, Roger?
Yes, Johnny. It's going to
Come
be
out with
one
a
that's
little
going to be
topspin.
very hard for her to hit the ball
Bouncing left.
solidly. The grain of the grass is well
Let it
faster,
happen.
as you say.
Yeah.
Easy to catch the ball heading and get some grass in between the club face and the ball, which I guess if it is not too bad, it will make the ball tumble and chase up the hill, but certainly not a premium lie.
These end of the grain lies are a little like Gomer Pyle. Surprise, surprise.
Go. Go.
Whatever happens here at this 90th hole, what a performance also by Angela Stanford. Counted out by a lot of people. Robbins from that bottom of that collection area coming up with her 3rd.
Chipping with a 7-iron here, just trying to bump it into the hill. Run it up, it will go to her left across the knob when it gets on top.
Performance as well for Kelly Robbins, who has not been in this position anywhere, much less the championship of this magnitude in more than 4 years. Came up a little short today.
Well, Hillary Lunky's in a stage right now that she has got to stay focused and not be having her mind wandering all over the place saying, Hillary Lunky, United States Women's Open champion. Somehow she has got to keep her emotions under control. She's got to think, well, Angela Stanford might make this putt, and I'm going to make it right on top of her.
Well, I would agree with that, John. She has to be prepared for the chance that this putt goes in. Because Angela Stanford's uphill.
It's not that hard a putt, right?
No, it's not. It's uphill, moving left.
She can do it 2 days in a row.
Okay. Caddy Jeremy Young's pointing out where to play this and saying, you can do it. Got to get it to the hole, Raj.
Same scenario as yesterday. Hillary Lunky with a birdie putt to win the championship after Stanford knocks in another birdie.
No, she didn't appear to show too much emotion when that ball went in. She's totally trying to be focused on what she needs to do.
Are these two linked together or what?
I think Hillary Lunky's going to knock this right in on top of her. How many people have ever made a birdie putt on the last hole of any Open? It's the rarest thing in golf.
It would be appropriate, wouldn't it, that the putter that got her into contention in this championship finally closes the door on the 90th hole. storybook week for 24-year-old Hillary Lunky.
That's the greatest win I've ever seen. I'm serious. Never done anything in women's golf this big.
Qualifier has won the championship for the very first time.
Go find the cards, Katie. Congratulations. Go find the cards, Katie.
You talk about guts, knocking that in on top. That is hard to do. I don't care if you're Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Nancy Lopez, Monica Sorenstam. You don't see that too often.
Hillary Lunky's life changed forever this week at Pumpkin Ridge. Birdie finish by Lunky and Stanford. Again, the birdie putt by Angela Stanford, the second day in a row to put the pressure on Lunky. Lunky stayed cool after watching it for the second day in a row and after not being able to get the putt to the hole yesterday to win. That gets it done. And the emotion flowed, the glasses came off. And that's what it feels like to win this championship. Angela Stanford watched it. Yep. Congratulations, Hillary. You won that one. Another great ending at Pumpkin Ridge. Tiger Woods in '96. Allison Nicholas in '97. Now Julie Nancy Lopez. This is right up there with any of them.
Wow, that's all I can say.
And the Lunkys are the champs.
I think husband Tyler's more shocked than anybody. That's fantastic. You talk about joy, pure joy. Got me going. I don't know about you.
Yeah, you went to the Phoenix box a couple of moments ago.
I was so happy to see all 3 birdies on the last hole. That is really great playing. 70 by Hillary Lunky, Angela Stanford 71, and Kelly Robbins 73. That's good playing, I'll tell you.
Hillary Lunky. Her name is added to this list, making her first LPGA win, a U.S. Women's Open. And, you know, in sports, Johnny, you get that feeling of destiny, and it was just around Hillary Lunky all week long. I mean, she just so many times where she could have folded up. But
how about Angela Stanford making that putt and having to make her make it? I mean, you just don't see that. I mean, that is like phenomenal.
Angela Stanford shot 32. 3 under on the back 9 to make it very interesting. Another look at the birdie putt by Stanford.
She needs a just cruising right in the center. It's just going, I can't believe it. I did it again.
We'll talk about Pumpkin Ridge in this championship in 2003. We'll talk about how these 2 qualifiers, even though Stanford was in with a win last week, how they qualified again in this championship, how they never gave in, never gave up, right to the 90th hole in this case.
And you had the feeling about Hillary Lunky.
There's just too many times in sports where the feeling of destiny again, where they make it through sectional and local qualifying to get here. And barely made it here. She shot 80 in the opening round of the sectional qualifying. Came back with a 73 in the second round to make it by 1 shot. And that's how she even got here.
I know, it's amazing. And shooting 70 today, she hits 8 out of 18 greens in regulation and has 23 putts under the most intense pressure you can imagine.
exciting. Let's go down to Roger Maltby. Raj.
And with what has to be an extremely disappointed Angela Stanford, you were out of it, you got back into it, and then for the second straight day in a row, you make the biggest putt of your life on 18, and then 30 seconds later, you lose. What's it feel like?
Well, for as bad as I hit it on the front nine, maybe that's the way it should be. Hillary played solid all day long, and I was up and down and all around, and it was a great putt on the last hole, and then she put it on top of me, and that's just awesome. I mean, it's unfortunate. Of course, I want to win, but it's so much fun.
It's been a pretty good couple of weeks for you, though.
Yeah, it has been, and I'm taking next week off, and just going to enjoy this a little bit.
Now, coming down the 17th hole, kind of a hiccup there. Got the ball in the middle of the fairway. You put it in the bunker. What happened?
It's just my swings. And I mean, the front nine, it was awful. And I felt like I had it under control starting the back nine. And it happened again, another bad swing. And, you know, I think that's just what happens when you come out and you're not hitting it consistently all day long.
Well, you stood in there in the clutch.
I was trying.
Back to you, Dan.
Thank you, Roger. Congratulations to Angela. What a performance this week. But the dream has turned into a reality for Hillary Lunkey, about to be introduced as the U.S. Women's Open champion.
And I'll tell you, talked about a great birdie. Cannot get any tougher than this hole to do it on. Have 3 birdies out of this group.
That's right.
Shoes have touched the ground for the last 3 or 4 minutes. And I know everybody is stuck around for this. That's the amazing thing. I think everybody can feel the special of this moment. It's like, why would you leave without hearing from the champ?
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2003 U.S. Women's Open champion, Hillary Lunkey.
First of all, congratulations. Standing over that last putt, what was going through your mind?
I knew Angela was going to make it. I knew she was going to make it. And I was just trying to focus on my line and just pretend like it was match play and your opponent's always going to make it and you've got to make it on top of them. And I just tried to trust my stroke and concentrate on the line and finally get the speed right.
Well, speaking of that putting stroke, it really carried you well throughout this championship. How'd you learn to putt so well?
I guess just... I don't know. I didn't really. I love to practice my short game. I think it's a lot more fun to practice that than actually hitting balls, which is different from what most people think. But just try to move my shoulders and let it flow naturally and not try to do anything too goofy.
How big an influence was your husband Tyler this week?
He was unbelievable. He was so calming. We definitely in this together. He's been an awesome caddy for me the last month, and I can't believe we got to go through this experience together.
You once told your father that you really felt like your first win on the LPGA Tour in your career would be the U.S. Women's Open. Why'd you say that?
I always thought if I win, it would be U.S. Open. I tend to play the same game no matter what course I go to. I hit it pretty straight and have a great short game, and that's what you need in U.S. Opens. That's what it's all about. I remember reading this year coming into the event that's what Julie Inkster said carried her through last year. Her ball striking wasn't that great on the weekend, but she said her short game kept her in it, and I just tried to focus on my strengths and not worry if my iron game was a little off here and there, and just try to put the ball in the hole.
Do you believe in destiny?
Yeah, I think so. I like this one.
It sure seemed like it. Well, congratulations again. We'll go back to Dan Hicks.
Continues for Hillary and Tyler Lunkey. indeed at Pumpkin Ridge. Well, be sure to stay with ESPN tonight for Monday Night Baseball as the National League East leading Atlanta Braves take on the New York Mets starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. What a week for our crew here at Pumpkin Ridge. We certainly enjoyed it. For our entire golf crew, Johnny Miller, Gary Koch, Roger Maltby, and Jane Crafter, Dan Hicks saying so long from the Witch Hollow course at Pumpkin Ridge. The unlikely duo of Angela Stanford and Hillary Lunke dueling it out in the biggest championship in women's golf. It goes to Hillary Lunke. Dream has come true.